Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL called out my grey rocking LOL. Jamil decided to harass the NICU to see our newborn. MIL pushed me into NC on purpose. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL called out my grey rocking LOL. Does this count as a success? My JustNo in-laws have been visiting once a week since LO was born, 7 weeks. MIL always has to say something rude. I don't even think she means to at this point. It's just how she talks to people. Not near as bad as a lot of stories I've read here, but it is constant. Just as an example, SO's first Father's Day was also his birthday. In-laws brought lunch. Very nice of them. So warmed up and plated everything while I fed LO and talked to in-laws. So serves everyone's food. MIL, I need my sandwich cut into fourths. So does this. MIL, with extra barbecue sauce. So gets her extra barbecue sauce. MIL, warmed up. So warms up her barbecue sauce. MIL, and a Diet Coke. So gets her a Diet Coke. I'm fuming by the end of this exchange, watching my wonderful and caring so be ordered around without a please, thank you, or offer to help from his mother. They come over again 2 days ago and So is on his way home. I'm at the house with them for maybe 10 minutes before So gets there. I have just gotten a fussy baby down for his nap after walking and bouncing for an hour. MIL walks in, comes over to me and says my turn. Me, no thank you. I just got him down and he needs to sleep. MIL, you're really not going to give me the baby? Me, I'm really not going to give you the baby. MIL, literal pouty face are you and So going to send out Christmas cards this year? Me, I don't know. MIL, you know, silky chicken, you drive me crazy sometimes. Me, why is that, MIL? MIL, because you never give me clear answers on anything. Me, Christmas cards are not exactly a priority. I guess she noticed my complete lack of details when answering anything, but I don't have to explain to this group how she'll just use any details against me later. MIL walks in, comes over to me and says my turn. Me, no thank you. I just got him down and he needs to sleep. MIL, you're really not going to give me the baby? Me, I'm really not going to give you the baby. Look at that spine of yours. It's blinding. Well done. The entitlement of MIL in that initial interaction. My turn is something a child says in reference to a video game, not an adult referring to a baby. Why should I give you clear answers when you'll just argue with the details? I like that one. I had to grey rock because this is exactly what she would do. Okay, hold up, I'm still stuck on the food thing. Your adult mother-in-law wanted her sandwich cut into fourths? Like a small child? That one baffled me too. She said something about it being easier to eat, then spilled pulled pork all over our rug anyway. What stuck me was it's his first Father's Day and he's waiting on her hand and foot. Dude, they come over way too often. Yes, they do. She should never have to entertain them by herself for even 10 minutes, either. My MIL was very much the same with my kids, but she lived a couple of HRS away and expected us to bring the baby to them. Then got mad when we didn't spend the weekend there every second or third weekend. You're a new, tired mom who is sleep deprived and just wants to have some privacy and time. She is not helping by taking over mommy duty for you while you wait on her either. MIL, because you never give me clear answers on anything. I love this. My husband learned to gray rock so young that my MIL just thinks that's his whole personality, mild-mannered, quiet, grump who doesn't know anything or care about anything or ask about anything or contribute anything or have any preferences about anything. The first time she went on about how quiet and serious he is, I couldn't help but laugh because he is such a goofy, light-hearted, easygoing guy. It's better if they just don't know what we're really like. My FIL described my hubby as sober. And they don't drink. He is actually very easygoing, kind, funny and interesting, but they miss all of that because all they care about is being right and he's an ungrateful kid, etc. You did give her a clear answer on one thing, not giving her the baby. My mother does the same thing your MIL did to your so to me. Makes food. Makes her a plate. I sit. I need salt. Takes her salt. Sits. I need more tea. I ask her anything else? No. Sits. Can someone get me XYZ? I already know someone is me. When I start getting visibly frustrated that I can't sit down and eat my meal because she can't ask for everything she wants at one time, I am suddenly the bad guy who was so mean to her and she's just a helpless little thing nobody loves. It drives me insane. I'm really not going to give you the baby sounds pretty clear to me. Yup. Sounds like OP has her number. Most excellent. Carry on OP, lol. Because you never give me clear answers on anything. From now on, all answers shall be NO. She had just given a clear response too. JustNoMil decided to harass the NICU to see our newborn. Content warning: traumatic childbirth. Not the first time I've vented on here, but this week has already been so much on me, and JustNoMil today decided to just drop a bunch more on me. Wednesday of last week my water broke 5 weeks early. It was a terrifying experience due to it being so early. Fiancé was harassed into dinner at his mom's and he had to rush to the house with his mom barking out questions trying to delay him. I was a bit of an ass and basically told her that I didn't have time for her 50 questions. I needed my fiancé now. The birth was pretty traumatic, and during the birth session only my fiancé was allowed in the room. I was super thankful for the nurses that kept his mother in check the whole time and made her wait. During labor the cord got twisted around LO neck 3 times, along with the placenta falling apart and my uterus hemorrhaging at the same time. Essentially everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in 5-minute span. LO was okay but was admitted to the NICU due to having some trauma with breathing and her size. I bled out way more than they wanted me to, so I was kept overnight for observation. Because of this, no one got to see LO except us when we were allowed to be wheeled up overnight. I was finally released with limited movement and lots of rest, but LO has been at the hospital for the whole of this week. Me and my fiancé have been going every day trying to keep 5 to 6 hours in as we can. My doctor insisted on rest in my own bed while I could and stated that I'll soon be pushing myself with sleep and try and let my body catch up while I can. My fiancé started up work again this week, Monday, and with us only having one car I've been waiting until he gets home from work for both of us to stay at the hospital until 11 to 12 at night. Today we went in and the NICU nurse let us know that JustNoMil decided, despite us telling her that no one but the parents can visit the NICU, to call the NICU and harass them about their policy and demand to come see LO. I was livid and told fiancé immediately that he needed to nip that sh*t in the butt immediately. Fiancé agreed. While leaving early because we had to stop by the pharmacy and pick up medications my doctor prescribed me, fiancé checked his phone and found a long-winded text from JustNoMil accusing us of not spending enough time with LO and accusing us of being poor parents. I have already been dealing with heavy depression because I feel like I can't spend enough time with her and feeling so useless. At this point I want to tell her she can't see LO at all. But I know that it would cause a huge turmoil for my fiancé and his side of the family. I just can't believe that she would be so pig-headed and rude during all of this. My mom can be a little overbearing as well, but even she has stepped back and said that she was willing to do whatever me and fiancé want. I just want Elo to come home soon so I can be with her. I miss her so much it hurts. Update. Thank you guys. Waking up this morning to all the supportive moms and Reddit friends was amazing. Me and fiancé talked it over this morning and agreed that what she said was offhand and uncalled for. Fiancé was livid this morning going over it and said on his lunch break he is calling his mom to tell her exactly why it wasn't okay and that she is going to be cut off from contact if she continues her behavior. Showing my fiancé your responses reaffirmed his stance, and I'm excited to see him off with his shiny spine. Meanwhile, I'll make sure to give Elo lots of love and cuddles while I wait for her to come home to us. Thank you. At this point, I want to tell her she can't see Elo at all. Telling them they're not loving Elo enough is enough for an email blast, in my opinion. I'd be sending that screenshot to the whole family along with we are unable to see our baby as much as we'd like because they are dangerously premature. MIL has decided this was a prime opportunity to attack us as parents. She will not meet our child. We are in distress and we will not tolerate this sort of bullying. Really sets the tone if you deliver it like a brick through a window. In my opinion, any response that doesn't start with, "How dare you," is too soft. You need to set a precedent that she needs to behave, because if she damages her relationship with the baby's parents, she doesn't access baby. So DH can rest her back. Your text is not appropriate and you owe us both an apology for your text. Your behavior towards the NICU staff is also not appropriate. If you cannot behave appropriately, then you will damage your relationship with me. I want a positive relationship with you, but I won't tolerate this any further. I say this with love, sort yourself out, Mom. My Elo is currently in the NICU and has been for some time due to similar birth circumstances. One thing every DR and nurse who has taken care of Elo has said is that they will take the same care regardless of whether or not we are physically there, that Elo is safe with them, and there are no circumstances in the world in which they would judge us as parents for being physically present or not. I know this post is about your MIL, but I want to make sure you hear/read their words, as those words have helped me in my feelings of guilt for not being able to be in the NICU every second of every day. What an amazing NICU team. Just the relief from hearing that. Great team, and all the best to you and your Elo. I'm going to echo what another person suggested. If you're so worried about how SO's family will react if you go and see with MIL, then he needs to show anyone and everyone that text. That text is cruel. Anyone with a conscience would think it was cruel. So we'll absolutely need some kind of therapy if he doesn't see that the way she is behaving is cruel. The way she has behaved shows a complete disregard for your mental and physical health, and you know she is going to have that same disregard for your innocent, preemie baby in terms of boundaries you will need to keep her healthy. She has lost grandma privileges with that text and her behavior. Good grandmas don't harass. They support. I hope your husband texted "Fu you're okay you" to his mother. What an awful thing to say to tired, stressed, and recovering parents. I hope he told her, "My child is in the hospital, I don't have time to clean up your messes too." She's the last to meet the baby. Put her on a 14 days timeout. You need to heal. You need to bond. Stuff like that is a ticket to postpartum depression. You don't need that. She does not have priority. So mute her for the moment and keep her away until you're ready. Had both of my kids in the NICU. It's not fun. But I promise you can catch up on all the snuggles soon. MIL pushed me into NC on purpose. So, my DH is very low contact with his mom, and the kids and I are basically NC for a year now. MIL made it clear through her behavior that she didn't like me from the start. I've been with DH for 16 years. After looking back on how most of the women who marry into the family are treated, and an illuminating conversation I had with DH's cousin, Flying Monkey. I really feel like this is what she intended all along, well, almost. I will never really know, but I feel it down to my bones that I was supposed to be so fed up with her behavior towards me that I was to go and see with her, and just send DH and my children to her. So she wouldn't have to deal with me and she could have her son and her grandchildren all to herself. Of course, that's not how it turned out. She never expected DH to grow a spine and stop visiting with her as well. Now, of course, it's, what have I ever done to deserve this? I already had my suspicions, looking at the way MIL treated her own Sael, saying awful things about her behind her back and manipulating her children into giving up information on their home life. And how that Sael eventually divorced her husband, so the kids ended up visiting their grandmother just with dad. So, I had lunch with DH's cousin, who I thought was a friend. Somehow we got on the topic of MIL, and cousin laughed and said, how ironic. Our own grandmother couldn't stand her MIL so much that she stopped coming to holiday events and just sent grandpa with the kids. Now the same thing is going to happen to her, my MIL. What do you mean the same thing is going to happen? I ask. Well, your MIL has messed up so much that now you won't want to come anymore. DH and the kids will just have to come to family events. Cousin replies. That's not happening. My kids go where I go. I replied. Well, not now while they're so little, but you will send them when they're older, cousin replies, her voice growing firmer and authoritative. I sense this isn't how she expected the conversation to go. My kids go where I go. We're a package deal, I reply just as firmly. We repeat ourselves a couple of times, both of us growing more and more frustrated before she finally drops it. Looking back, I wish I had said, so, you think my family is going to abandon me on Christmas? You think they're just going to leave me alone? More importantly, you think that I am going to send my vulnerable children to your family gatherings, which everyone openly agrees are toxic and not enjoyable at all? You want me to send my children to someone who was so completely disrespectful of me that I gave up on them after 16 long years of trying to get along? You want me to hang out alone while I send my children as some sort of meat shield to be emotionally abused? What is wrong with you? And that's how I came to realize that not only is MIL an emotionally abusive person in general, she also does it 100% on purpose, and it completely backfired on her this time. So, Mil's plan to purposely edge you out and gain your DH/kids spectacularly backfired, and you got to put a FM straight too? I think you could label this as a success. Discovering the FM before she could use that more to MIL's advantage is also a win. OP got all aces in her hand. I think my FMBIL knows my Reddit, so I rarely comment here with this handle, but whatever. This post really resonated with me and I feel like a huge light bulb just went off. I feel like my MIL may have been intentionally doing this crap with my other BIL, not the FM, in order to keep my problematic Sael at home so he'll come alone with the kids. And I think she's been trying this with me. Only I have the same position you do, kiddo stays with me. If I am not welcome and don't feel comfortable, kiddo isn't going either. Definitely going to share this with my husband. Waves to FMBIL. Well, with 2 digits, anyway. Perhaps you should also share this with SIL and maybe other BIL? I resonate with the you will send them like new no I want. My first thought was that she thought she was a Jedi and using the mind trick would work. Wow. I think you're right, it was her plan all along. So glad your DH is on y'all's team. I don't understand, why wouldn't you send your children to spend time alone with a person who hates their mother? How very silly of you to not realize how much sense this makes. Ha! That's all I've got. She effed around and found out. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.